Good afternoon, all you lovely people. It's me here again, back at the Bag Lady, doing some angelic readings. So if you guys are interested, I'm here at the Bag Lady today as of December 18th until 3:45. So I've already pulled our cards, looking into kind of the next 2 weeks. I won't be here because the Wednesdays happen to fall on Christmas and New Year's Day. So I'm kind of doing the collective energy for the next 2 weeks. Our very first card right here is the Tree of Souls. So one of the big things that the angels are trying to get across for the next 2 weeks, there's a lot of processing that needs to happen. I know we always like to go into the new year, new me kind of thing, but we really need to look at what lessons we have learned from this year. It might not always be the best lessons, but we need to make sure we're looking at them and are aware of them. So the angels are mentioning very much trying to put it into perspective or put it into physicality, right? So this is moments of writing down what you've experienced and what lessons you're taking away and what lessons you're like, okay, I can put this on the side, right? There's a lot of awareness that needs to be built up over the next 2 weeks so that you can take that leap or take that step into something new, all right? So the Tree of Souls, it says collective wisdom and kinship group and library. So this card is very much intrinsically tied towards the Akashic records of that collective wisdom that exists within us and around us. So there's moments of, meditating or listening into that wisdom inside of yourself. Maybe you're feeling more nudges to do painting or talking to somebody, like, oh, there's this message that wants to come through me for this one person, right? And say, it might just be a compliment trying to brighten up that person's day, which you never know what your words really do mean to other people. So be mindful of that, right? Spread more love if you can. It doesn't cost anything. But there is, again, that awareness or that knowledge of building up until until January, where we are tapping into that wisdom and, again, looking at what we've been through so far in the year and learning those lessons. They really want me to bring that home. Learn your lessons so you don't have to repeat them, because there is an up-leveling of energy that's going up into 2025, right? We want to leave 2024 here in its space to then move forward. So learn your lessons, big, big thing. One of the other things they're also saying, if you have had moments of kind of disconnection with a lot of people, that's okay. There can be an up-leveling as well of people you're around. If the people you have been around are always negative or don't really have any aspirations or drive to move forward in their life, maybe that's a time to say, okay, maybe I should look at this, because if you're around those people all the time, you might be like those people. And if you want to change, that can be hard staying around that same energy. But there is kind of a collective coming together. With this being the holidays, it also makes sense in that way. Remember that family and chosen family can be different. Just want to say that as we're coming up into the holiday season, right? You might have your chosen family, which those are the people that they might be your friends, the people you really, really connect with on a soul level, right? These can be different, and that's okay. So I feel like might be some collective grief going on in that route, where we can be really sad because we can't connect to our family in that way, and that's okay. But there's that processing of the grief that needs to happen as you're going through this. Remember, you can always choose, you have that chosen family that's there to support you. So just allow that to be, right? Because these people can be there and support you as you go along your path, which your family might not always do. So it might be a hard truth, but that is something that really is actually coming up right now. And there feels to be a lot of emotion behind that, especially with it being Christmas time. So I'm here for you guys if you need it. But I just want to say that, as it's really, really coming through strongly, to the fact that I want to cry a little bit. So that is our Tree of Souls. Looking forward as we're going through these next 2 weeks, they are saying that these lessons that you've had in this year is a gift. And that's actually our next card. So it says present, honoring, and offering. So as you're going through this, we have to be very present in what we're doing. So this is being very methodical in what we're experiencing and what we're saying and what we're doing. This isn't to the point of overthinking it all, but saying, I need to be present in this moment to really react and respond in the way that is the most loving way that I can be. Sometimes we might want to really act out and say a lot of things that are very hurtful. And there's moments like that. But if you can try to spread a little bit more love, that can also be very helpful too. So be mindful and aware of what you're doing. Remember, as you're going through to this next year, we need to be honoring ourselves and having compassion with what we've been through. It's really easy to get stuck in this, oh no, woe is me, this has happened. And yes, bad things do happen, and that is a part of life. But we have to honor ourselves and give compassion so we don't stay there. Because it's really easy to wallow in that energy of, this happened to me and I'm going to take this on myself. I'm going to just make this my whole personality, which that's what they're also trying to get at, is as you learn through these lessons, you don't have to hold on to that identity so hard, right? When we let go of that identity, we can then start to move forward. And that's what we're trying to honor. We're trying to honor ourselves, which there's this energy where we're not doing that. We want to kind of put ourselves down, and this is also a time to stop playing so small. There's a really big ask to say, I'm here. I'm going to be present. I'm going to do this. This is who I am, like it or not. And this energy is really powerful. It's really trying to push us into 2025. And some people might not be ready, but it's time, right? You got to start stepping out. You got to start doing this. It is up to you whether you decide to do this or not. You have your own free will, but there is a big ask of you to really step into yourself and stop putting yourself on the back burner, because that's what we do. We put ourselves in the back and say their needs are bigger than mine, which that's not the case. We really have to start taking ownership of ourselves and our life. Learn what you can from this year so you can start that fresh leap, that fresh change. Try to go into 2025 with being more authentically yourself. And if that person likes to make bad jokes, make bad jokes. It's good. Make all the dad jokes you can. And even if people really cringe at it, that's part of who you are. Be respectful. But there's a really big ask for authenticity as we're moving into this year. And I really, really hope you guys do take that leap. And actually, that is our last card, is the leap. If you're thinking about tarot, this is the Fool card, right? We're taking that leap, we're taking that step to change, right? So it says ecstasy, bliss, and belief. What we need to be cultivating up until January and then onward, right? This is not a 1 or 2 week thing. This energy is so big and expansive that this is a lifelong thing where we're learning and we're changing and we're going to become more and more authentically ourselves. Right? You're going to get to the point where if you show up and you're being inauthentic, you're going to not feel great. And I've been there, done that, right? We all have our days where, we start putting the mask on because that's what we get trained to have. We have that mask on ourselves, and this is the mask that we show other people. These are the masks that we show ourselves, and there is this ripping off that has to happen. It's not always going to be pleasant. There's going to be some hard truths that are going to come up in the next 2 weeks that you're going to be like, oh God, yeah, I did that. And that's okay. You have to have that compassion for yourself as you're going forward so that you can take that leap, that you can take that next step. There's so much energy that is pushing us to change. And I really hope you guys feel it and do something about it, right? Everything is in your hands at this point. I can't make any changes for you. I can only make changes for myself. Right? And that is also the journey that you're on. You need, or bringing that awareness to what you've learned and then taking those learnings and saying, yes, I have learned this. I don't need this lesson again. I have learned it. So I really do invite you guys to take that moment to journal and say, these are experiences that I've had this year. What have I learned from it? Because there's a lot of people out there that they have awareness, but they don't put it down. They don't feel it, they don't experience it, they don't write it. And when we put those things in writing, it's like, okay, it's come through me. Now I can let it go. So I really do invite you guys to have those moments of clarity and awareness. Take some time to connect in with yourself and have those moments of reflection, even if it might be hard, right? Whether it's sitting down on the couch and just writing, Whether it's looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, oh my God, what has happened this year? Who is this person in front of me? Right? Again, I'm inviting you to have compassion for yourself as you're going through this, because this is, I don't know if there's going to be really big shifts in the world that's happening in the next 2 weeks, but there's a lot of shifts that are going to be happening internally. So be aware of that. These are the energies that I'm picking up right now for us as a collective. And so that means I'm going to be experiencing similar things. So who knows, back in 2025, we might be having another conversation about this where I'm explaining a little bit what's going on, but who knows. But I invite you guys to have compassion with yourselves as you're going through this transition, and I'm sending you all my love. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out or put things in the comments down below, or go to my website, sacredforgehealing.com, where all my services are listed, and I will have some time throughout or until New Year's if you guys want to book any readings or any of my other services. So again, I hope you have an amazing 2 weeks, but take those moments of self-reflection. We all need it. Sending you love. Bye for now.